Hi all, my name is Anio, and it's a highly instructive Jacobiano game for beginners which I played in this 2007 schools championship in my country. I kicked off with e4, my opponent played e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, c3, preparing d4, knight c6, d4, e d4, c d4, bishop b4 check, knight c3, knight takes e4, and castles. There are principles in the opening. Castle as soon as possible, develop your pieces, and attack. Here he didn't castle as soon as possible, and he developed only 3 pieces, which is going to cost him a tempo to develop this bishop along this diagonal, and it's going to cost me 1 move to develop my bishop. So I had an initiative in the game, in the opening, sorry. So here there are 2 ways of capturing my c3 knight. This knight takes c3, bc3, bishop c3, queen b3. Bishop takes a1, bishop f7 check, king f8, bishop g5, attacking the queen, knight e7, knight e5, bishop takes d4, bishop g6 threatening mate on f7, d5, queen f3 check, bishop f5, bishop takes f5, bishop takes e5, check, f6, knights all over. So here he took with the bishop, seeing the continuation which will arise after he takes with the knight. So he took with the bishop, which is a good choice. bc3, he castle, queen c2, d5, protecting the knight on e4, bishop d3 attacking e4, f5 overguarding e4 and leaving behind some weaknesses along this diagonal. Rook b1, trying to keep the bishop on c8, so if it moves I take on c on b7, so he protected the b pawn. Rook b5, in harassing the knight which is getting the e5 square or e5 outpost for my knight. He retreated the knight to e7, knight e5. Oh, sorry. He put knight e5. So here his knight on e4 can easily be harassed by f3. My knight on e5 cannot be harassed by any f6. So I had a good position according to Fritz. c6, chasing with the bishop. Bishop back to d3. Queen e8. f3 harassing the knight on e4. The knight retreats. Rook e1 fighting for the open e5. Queen h5, trying to get some counterplay on the king side. Bishop f4, indirectly attacking the rook. Knight g6, which is a blunder. Knight takes g6, queen takes g6, and bishop takes b8, and he resigned. So let's look at the game in overview summary. It was a Jacobiano opening. With some so maybe here if you just retreated the knight back, or after this move, maybe f6 was a blunder. He should have, I think, played the bishop to f5 or just bishop to g4. Maybe could have been better, but he played f5 anyway, leaving behind some weaknesses which I expressed in the game. Rook b8. Now here my objective was to control the e5 square, which was guarded by the knight. So I had to to harass the knight. Bishop b5, which I did. Knight e7 now. The square is mine. c6, bishop d3, queen e8, and f3. Rook e1 fighting for the open fire, as I said earlier on. Queen h5, bishop f4. Maybe if you just retreated the rook back to a8, could have been much better for him, I think. Yes, I think it would have been better for him. Maybe, yeah. But he played knight g6, knight takes g6, queen takes g6, bishop b8, and he resigned. So this is a highly interactive game for beginners. So please leave any comments on YouTube. Thanks very much.